Have you ever stopped in the middle of your own home and asked yourself if someone could actually be watching you right now? Even when the curtains are closed and the doors are locked, like in the very places you feel safest, the spots you would never in a million years suspect, because that's exactly where most surveillance hides. Not in the obvious cameras, outside banks or parking lots, but in the everyday objects around seniors that blend into the background so well that you don't even blink at them. And that's where the real danger lives. The living room TV, for example. It's no longer just a box showing channels. It's a smart device with microphones, sensors, and even idle modes that can pick up voices and movements. Sometimes sending tiny packets of data back to companies you've never heard of. And the scary part is, you agreed to it with one tap on terms and conditions. You never had the time to read. Now think about your phone charger plugged near your bed. Harmless. Right, but cheap imports often carry hidden chips that act as low-grade listening devices, pulling audio from the room while you sleep, record, or even talk to family. And no one explains that seniors, who love affordable deals online, are the perfect targets for this kind of intrusion. Then there's your senior medical devices like pacemakers, glucose monitors, hearing aids, even sleep monitors, which were built with connectivity in mind, but not necessarily strong privacy, meaning they ping signals that hackers or even shady marketers can sniff out, basically turning your own health lifeline into a tiny surveillance beacon. The fourth spot is your car. And not just the GPS you rely on for directions, but the black box most modern vehicles hide under the dash, collecting every stop, every acceleration, every slowdown. And it doesn't just stay there. Many models transmit that driving behavior directly to insurance companies or data firms, all without your permission in any real sense. And the last one is the one nobody dares think about. Your voice assistants. Alexa, Siri, Google, these smart helpers you treat like digital butlers, ready to set alarms or play music, but they are always in listening mode, always waiting, and what they record doesn't always stay in the device. Sometimes contractors, humans, not just machines, are hired to review these clips for quality purposes, which means even private moments could end up in somebody's headphones across the country. The thread connecting all of this is invisibility, the type of spying that doesn't show itself in flashing red lights or obvious camera lenses. It's subtle, woven right into normal life, and seniors especially fall into the trap because the tech seems helpful. It feels like progress. It feels like convenience, until you realize your most ordinary spaces have been turned into tiny surveillance hubs. The scary truth is, it's not criminals doing all of it. Sometimes it's corporations, sometimes it's hackers, sometimes it's a government program hidden deep in contracts. So the question becomes, how much of your private life is truly yours anymore? When your living room, your bedroom, your car, your medical devices, even your bedside lamp could be the quiet witnesses of your routines, your secrets, your late-night calls, your family stories. And here's the part that chills me most. You don't even know when it starts, because there's no sound, no sign, no knock on the door, just the slow drip of personal details leaking out of your sanctuary. And while younger people shrug it off because they grew up in this connected world, for seniors, the feeling cuts deeper. You built a life around privacy. You grew up locking doors, closing blinds, trusting that home was safe. But now, the very tools you bought to make life easier might be the very eyes and ears that undo that safety. So the next time you sit quietly in your recliner or plug in a device near your bed, ask yourself this: Who else might be sitting there with you, silent, unseen, yet always present? Because the truth is, the biggest surveillance isn't outside on the streets. It's right where you live, in the most unsuspecting corners of your golden years. And the real question left is not just where you're being watched, but how much you're willing to ignore before the privacy you thought you had is completely gone.